I'm sorry, YouTube. I muted you again. My bad. Okay, let me explain again. I'm sorry, YouTube. I muted you again. My bad. Okay, let me explain. Okay. So, YouTube, any sound now? Okay, sorry, I muted it. Alright. So, if you guys were with me last night, wrong one. I just thought I'd share because I was doing some journaling. So this one was the 30-minute close that I was looking at during the London close yesterday. So because this 30-minute did not close above this 30-minute resistance, I didn't take the long, even though this was support formed. So because I thought that firstly it was a weak close, so it might just bounce off this 4-hour and daily zone that I have, which is also previous resistance if you look left. So my final take profit was actually targeted at 138,400, so that's why it did not even hit. So I think it's a good call that I didn't even enter. Right, so even on this part here, it didn't even manage to push up even with the volume during London. Okay, so this is just my own notes that I thought I'd share. Questions, just let me know. Opportunity on buys for GJ above 138310 before a break and retest. 138310. Okay, let's see. So the 4-hour just closed bullish. Sorry, the daily is bullish today. The 4-hour also closed bullish. But we're coming into some resistance on the left over here on the 4-hour. Possibly we will definitely fail this week here. I'm pretty sure of that. But then we'll run into problems when we come into the daily zone at 138,400. If we look down on the 1-hour, so this candle was the 4-hour close candle, was bullish, so there was support formed. If you wanted to take a long, I would say it is risky because you can try to fill this 20 pip zone, but you will run into some issues over here on the resistance. So the trade actually looks like it's already gone. So I'll probably be looking for longs above 138,400 when we break above. Nothing in between this area for me. Are you looking for buys? Yes, I am long bias on GJ today. Oh, I forgot to share the link with Slack. Now there are two 4K monitors. It's very sharp, but it's very big. So on GU, it's the same thing that I see as well. And just double check that my zones are holding. So on the daily, we rejected and then closed bullish yesterday. Today, we are forming bullish of that support on the daily. So 4-hour candle actually closed above resistance. So this one, potentially, I think, Gregors, you're looking for a break and retest, right? This potentially could form a retest for you later. So let's look on the 1 hour. Yeah, so potentially I'll be waiting for some kind of retest to be formed of this area here. Then go up to that price, 1306. I'm waiting for a retest of this area here. Are these zones well marked? Okay, for our support. One three seven 800. Yeah, I would say you have them about the same as me. So let's look at EJ today if anyone's looking at it. So EJ did the same thing as GU, rejected and formed support, respecting the previous levels as well. So this has now become a daily zone. So if we look at the 4-hour, it also closed above. Same structure as GU, closed above that 4-hour resistance. So I'll be looking for a retest, and then it's not as clean as GU going up, because if you look at it, GU has clean candles now on the 4-hour, heading all the way up to about 313. Whereas for EJ, it is choppy. There are a lot of minor pauses here. So if you're looking to take longs, look at GU over EJ. Yeah, Gregors, I think just now I mentioned for GJ, right? Because it has not broken above the 4-hour resistance that it has over here. That's why I'm not really looking to take it in this area, and I prefer GU, because GU already broke that 4-hour resistance, whereas GJ has not. Overall, same structure. They are all long today. Just choose the better ones. Yeah, send me a link, might be easier, Gregos. Because I might be looking at a different structure as you. Oh, okay, I know. Sorry, I misread. I think you're looking for longs above here. Usman. Why is she trading on the beach? I would love to be trading on the beach. Hence, I'm trying to dream a bit. Some holiday vibes to everyone. The weekly Jace, what's up? So the weekly price is, to me, if we just look at the weekly zones, right? Price is sitting right at the weekly support. So, but this area here, rejecting the downside, but it broke candles to the left. Yes, it broke the previous few days. Remember, there was that big push down. So the weekly is still forming. There is no close on this. So, you can't really get much. You can't really get much. What's that word? You don't really have a lot of info from the weekly because it's too slow if you're trading the intraday. So usually when you trade intraday, try to go up maybe 1 time frame higher or max 2 time frames higher. So like for example, if for us we are trading the 30, then you go up to maybe the 1 hour, 4 hour, maximum the daily, so 2 time frames ahead. But don't go to the weekly, might not do you much good because you'll be scalping the smaller movements, which you don't see on this big weekly candle. But overall, if you want to have an idea of what price is doing on a larger time frame, it's actually bullish. Okay, guys, I think I understand your question. Sorry, I misread the price. So if you were saying 138310, right? Yes, it's above that 4-hour resistance, I think. Yes, above this. If you wait for a break and retest to go up to 400, right? I'm not sure if there's enough space. Because if you look left on the 4-hour, this whole area was support for almost an entire week. So I would be careful at this area. I would prefer to be above it before I start taking trades. Unless for some reason we can catch it somewhere here to go up at 208. Ah, yes, sorry, misunderstood. 15-minute candle close. Oops. Minute candle close strong bearish. 15 close. Oh, okay, there were 2 entries. This was the first one. Weak indecisive. Candles at the resistance, okay. Indicating weak sellers and buyers. 30-minute broke the low, right? Entry upon the break. Yeah, this one looks good, the first one. Second one. Oh, we were trading in the range here though, and you were kind of entering right in the middle, so it's a bit tough. Oh, sorry, you were entering right at the bottom and you had another range, another support. So looks a bit tough on the second trade. So if you're near a zone, so if you can draw this on the 30 minutes, probably a higher time frame zone also, like maybe the 1 hour. So if you're very near a zone, just be careful if you want to trade into it, because that might, like a block, something's in your way. Buys above 275, shorts above 137, 800. Yeah, I think it's, yeah, same idea. But 275. Ooh, tight. Yeah, I'm giving it a bit more space above 400 for me. But 275 is above this area, because I'm afraid like above this whole area in blue, we might come into some chop and then we might reject the 400 level because we need some strength to break through. But with volume, who knows? Because now the 1 hour and the 4 hour both close bullish, so there should be some bullish momentum pushing up. Yeah, you're right, Mike. Bigger wick on the left. If you have a look at the 4 hour, this whole area at 138, 400 was also problematic, with many wicks rejecting the zones. Let's. Yeah, GU is definitely cleaner, I was saying earlier as well. Buys above this, interesting. 305.81. So what I have on GU, so if we look at the 4 hour, right, on GU, it already broke the 4 hour resistance on this candle close. That's why it's pushing. And then it has more space, so I'm actually waiting for a retest of this area at 302 to go back up on GU. Whereas for GJ, if we look at the 4 hour and just compare the both of them, that candle close on the 4 hour, which is this one here, it went up, pushed all the way up, failed to break the high on the left. So GJ is not ready yet. Hi, Ella. So GG having some problems breaking 125, 550, I would say, which is that 4-hour zone. Because again, EJ is not very clean going up. If we look at the 1 hour on the left, it's going to be a choppy right up. Versus if you want to take GU up, it's a lot cleaner. So you only have one resistance over here, and then it's clean candles. So let's have a look at news. So there's going to be some high impact Euro news later, which definitely will affect EJ during pre-New York. Morning, Kelly. Then we have jobs data also from the US. So potentially the New York session might be a bit slow until we have cleared the jobs data later. Oh, so okay, some of you were asking me also, right? So you're looking at the journal. So I'm gonna put a link on the journal inside the Zoom chat. Inside the Discord chat. So if you want to have a look at what I put on my journals, then just feel free to just duplicate the template if anyone's interested. Yeah, I think some of the things that actually I found helped me was when I started to journal about my emotions and thoughts that I was going through at that point in time. So like for example, if I took a very for example, on last night's trade on GJ, at this point in time during that, so just now I was explaining why I didn't take the trade for this area here on the London close. So I would have journaled down that I wasn't confident in this trade and I felt uneasy that it didn't break the high. So if I were to take the entry, I would know that if price bounced and then let's say if it didn't break above, it just bounced and rejected, right? I would have known that all the different triggers emotionally that actually highlighted to me that it was a bad entry, if that makes sense. So that's how I actually got over like FOMO over trading, wanting to take less than desirable setups, is by identifying triggers. I took that trade after the 30-minute close. With no wick, I went out. Oh, this big one here? Yeah. So when you entered, there was a nice 26 pip move, but when you entered and then it closed without a wick, you would also just quickly get out of it instead of waiting for it to go. So last night I was calling for 138,400 as a final take profit, right? So when you enter a trade like this, knowing that it was weak, you would be very quick to cut your trades as well, and not really holding it for another extra like 10 more pips. Yeah, so tiny things like that affect trading psychology as well, if that makes sense. Because all these things, they do eat away at you, and then it makes you less and less confident about your analysis. There are a lot of questions that I put up for myself inside the journal. If you have a look at it, it's up to you what you think is useful for you to answer and reflect on. Take away those that you don't need or put in extra that you need. It's your personal thing. On Zoom, I think I can paste the link also. I forgot. Here. So it's easier. Morning, Jay. So far, nothing. So we look at GJ, right? The 30-minute close below 138,200, which was a 4-hour / daily zone. So didn't even manage to break higher, so we're gonna have a bit of problems here. So this wick rejecting the previous resistance was actually a signal of price actually slowing down. That's why I wouldn't take the long on this entry, on this candle close. Not clean this direction, we'll just look to secure 10 pips if long. What's this price? EJ 125,677. 125,677. This is a 1-hour chart. Yeah, you see the structure, right? So over here, like 1-hour resistance. Oops. Like this area is 1-hour resistance. You see it pinned so many times. And then again, yeah, you'll be able to grab like tiny moves. Ugh. Yeah, EJ is very choppy. And don't forget, there is also news. EU news. Remember this is today? Let me double check. Yes. So there's that deposit interest rate decision. So EU is very low on my list today. I don't want to be trading it before the decision. Possibly because yesterday I think, remember that quick spike on GJ? There was some Euro news. I think they mentioned they wanted to adjust something. Where was it? Yeah, this one. This was the one that came out at the same time as, yeah, GJ being positive. When GJ did that huge spike, so ECB forecast that they are very confident in the economy, so it's gonna make EJ more funny today. If it's really positive, then yes, we're gonna see EJ fly. That could be why EJ is stuck in this range also. I think it's been stuck since last week in this 4-hour to daily range between 125.55 and 125.30. So stuck between this area. Dirty. Stop loss. The breakout. When do we enter? There is. I believe you are talking about GJ. There is no entry for me now because price did not even break above the 138,200 zone. Just waiting. Or if you're looking at something, you can send your chart as well. I'll have a look. Kamal, what do you mean by supposed to break out? Do you understand as like, oh, you cannot send a link? Because the charts on MT4 and Tradingview and MT5 structurally they should be about the same. Yeah, do you want to try using Tradingview to chart? Then at least I can have a look. I never see you use the news on Trading. Yeah, I don't. Because I just leave these two sites open. Because anyway, on my screen it's like blocked because I put all the chats up. These two sites so far they are a bit faster than Tradingview. Like after breakout resistance, when will you enter a trade and what will be the stop loss for that? I don't know because there is no setup yet. I will only know how to plan my trade, entry and stop loss when there is a setup. There is no setup now on GJ. Don't rush into anything. There's nothing now. Just patience. This period of time till probably New York, pre-New York, so it will be slow. So just be a bit more patient. Nice, Sharif. Have fun with it. Mike, do you trade AJ because it's an indicator of risk? Or like, it's an indicator of volatility? Because last time when I was at the banks, right, we traded AJ, because some of the traders had the view that it was a it was an indicator of Forex volatility. But I know Raja doesn't like it because both markets are closed. I was seeing support form on 5 minute, but waiting on close. Support. You mean this? Be careful though. So if you take this trade long, oh, there you go. 5. Yeah, okay, that's better. Okay, draw my charts. Yes, helps me see things a bit better. Yeah, why not here? So why am I using this? Why not this? If you're looking at 5 minute, why not this structure instead of the one that you had earlier? Kamal, I've been trading for 7 years. I had mentors all throughout 5 of those 7 years. And I'm always backtesting, whether it's live backtesting or using software FX, like Sharif. Yeah, I do them both, even now. Yeah, but if you're trying to go long, right, be careful, because if you look at the 15 at least, it's clean on the left. Yeah, so be careful. I chart it up for Asian. Yeah, like last time, okay, last time is like 5 years ago. AJ used to move really close, really like the VIX. So if any of you know what the VIX is, it's like a volatility indicator. So it used to move very close to the VIX index. I think that's why people traded it. But now it's just a mess. So you see, the peaks and the troughs are about the same. So is the spikes. But they don't move similarly anymore. Forward testing like now is better than back testing. Yeah, it's always good to have. Okay, so the pros and cons about back testing on a software like Forex, you can adjust the speed on Forex. So waiting is actually the thing that hurts a lot of traders, because we are impatient and we want to jump into trades. Whereas for Forex, you can just like fast forward time. So there is that aspect missing from it. That's why I like Ila said, live backtesting, forward testing is definitely also beneficial. You gotta put in the hours, I guess. Train your patience. Yeah, Mike. It's just something interesting that I noticed, but I don't use it either. Just like how I don't really trade off fundamentals, the same theory. There's nothing like doing what everyone seems to hate doing. Yes, waiting. While you're waiting, you can just check for news, read about the news, look at what the other pairs are doing. If you have a few pairs on your list, just watch their behavior. You can also go back on the charts, look at what happened. Like for example, if today you have Euro interest rate news, then just go back to the previous news and then see what was the data that came out, how it reacted, and at least you have a slight indication of and a better sense of preparation, I guess. And then you see what happens to price before news comes out. So if it's just stagnating and chopping around, you know that you should not be rushing into an entry. Oh, is something very tiny, or like is something not clear? Please let me know. Okay, because yesterday I was telling some of the guys, I noticed the support and resistance lines that I drew up were missing on YouTube, so I had to just clean it up for them also. Yes, Sandra is. It's very wide. Yes, it's like elongated. Well, you'll get yours soon. Oh, yes. I've been waiting for a stand-up desk, but sadly, don't know when that will happen. I want to upgrade my PC first, because now it's a bit laggy. Who's Andrew Yang? Don't know who that person is. Oh, yeah, I don't follow. I've heard good things though from my previous. So previously I was trading with another group. Yeah, there were a lot of US citizens inside. They seem to like him quite a bit. Wow, you're thinking of bringing him up for your uni interview. Do it. Just do it. Do it first and then figure it out later. It's like with these streams, the first stream was so horrid. I had like my screen was like halved, sound was dropping out, and then slowly I just tweaked it from there. What are your uni interview? Jace, I am 31. Uni was a long time ago. Yeah, age is but a number, Vic. Age is but a number. So Vic, look at your earlier 5-minute trade. See the structure that helped. I'm not advocating entries on the 5, but structure does hold. Yeah, I mean, choose an entry time frame that you're comfortable in, that once you enter, you won't feel anxious about the trade flipping against you, and then stick to that. The lower the time frames that you start to go, so I even had like a person in my ex trading group that traded on the like 30-second, 5-second charts. I'm like, what's the point in that? How tiny a stop loss do you want? Kamal, scalping means you just grab a few pips from the market. You don't wait for like big swings. So when we say swings on the market, they just mean like this. If you look at it, this whole area here, let me take my pen. This area here, this is a swing, this is a correction, and then whoop, market. Sorry. What am I doing? This whole area is a swing, then this area here is a correction. So if price wants to continue coming down, then we will see another move after this area over here. Because now price doesn't know what it's doing. It's trying whether it wants to make a new impulse move. There are various ways of trading. You might want to have a look at baby pips first, so you understand what suits your personality as well. You don't have to trade a scalp if you prefer, if you have a lot of patience to wait for bigger trades. So this is the website for anyone who is new, or if you just want a refresher on certain technical meanings and like what this fundamental does to the currencies, blah blah blah, just go inside here under education. Yeah, just run through it quickly like this. I think Raja went through this yesterday also on his stream. Yep. So the hourly candle for EJ broke above. Sorry, the hourly broke and closed above all the previous bodies on the left. So this is a strong close. Now we are back to 650, which is the next resistance. Yes, RR, I am Singaporean. So GU is continuing on its move up. So now this area on the 30-minute, I would be looking for this next candle to form before I consider the longs till 1306. But there will be some resistance over here first, so go up to 1306, and then after that 1305, and then 1306. What broker am I using? Pepperstone. Sitting on my laptop, start before London session, watching Monty, then I sleep for half an hour watching you, and then I can mark support rate. Nice. Just practice. Don't overcomplicate support and resistance. Just trust what you see, and then just mark it up first. GJ now is 1, ranging from 1 to about 0.7 to about 1.2. GJ, yeah. I think some of them were saying IC is cheaper. and Evan's hot forex. And Vantage. So I'm using, for anyone that's interested, since my entries are on the lower time frame, I use the Razor account here. Razor versus standard. So if you are a swing trader, I think you don't mind standard. But if you are a scalper, so I scalp and try to turn my scalps into intraday swing, so I prefer lower spreads because I want to be tighter to the entries. IC is about half a pip. Yeah, IC is like IC is cheaper sometimes and more expensive sometimes. Everything really depends on the timing. But they're both Australian, so I guess you can't go too far off with it. Plus, Pepperstone has been very good to me so far in terms of service. How we can trade in range, is that good or should we wait for by break and retest? I think you mean, Kamal. I prefer to wait for break and retest. If you want to trade in the range, you need to make sure the range is big enough. So by big, like in this case, this has about 30 pip range. If it breaks above this resistance over here on the 15-minute close, on the 30-minute close, you need to check. So for example, if this candle goes like this, oh shit, oops, sorry, zoom. If you go like this, like if this candle closes like this, above, right, bullish, then you need to measure your take profit and your stop loss and see whether it's worth for you to take a trade. So stop loss should be below this area, and then maybe your take profit would be, firstly you need to see if your risk reward is worthwhile to the first area that you will encounter problems. So this is about 1R. If you are comfortable with taking a 1R trade, then go ahead. If not, then don't take the trade. That's how you trade in a range. You need to have space first. Yes, big. You could have taken the 15-minute support to go up, but there is all this area here which I would prefer to trade above it. Yeah. So if you had taken it like this off that 15-minute support, right, it would have been like this. Stop loss below the wick, and then looking to take it to your first area that would give you problems at 305. Yes, but yes, you are right, it's a 15-minute support, so not for me. especially when this is the first 30-minute resistance, and then if you look at the second 30-minute resistance, so if you ignore this current candle that is forming, if you look at where that second 30-minute resistance formed, it was lower than the previous one. So that shows me that there is some problem going up. So that's why I am still waiting for a stronger close, which minimally has to be on the 30. Right, be right back. How can we do buy or sell? Wait to cross wick or body after breakout. It's your choice. So some people wait for more confirmations once it breaks the wick. Some are okay to enter once it clears the body. So it's really depending on your risk appetite. But the basic premise is you need to wait for support or resistance to form and then take it off. So on GJ, the 15-minute just closed, rejecting that 30-minute minor support. So like I mentioned, it's the same thing on GU also. So if we look at the 15, it also rejected this tiny area over here. Rejecting. EJ also rejecting the 1 hour zone on top. So don't rush into anything for the time being. There's no clear entry signals. Yeah, sometimes there's London is still 11 p.m. so there's still a lot of time. Wait, what's 11:17? Oh, yeah, UK time. It's still early. There's so much more time to trade. Why EU more messy than others? What is messy? EU is the most traded currency in the world, so we have a lot of volume in EU.
Good morning, Al.
Hey, hello, morning.
This GJ move looks amazing.
Yeah, not yet though. Probably I'm waiting for it to break above this resistance on the 4 hour. Now it's just rejecting that whole area. I'm looking for cleaner longs above 138,400 only. Nothing in between this 20 pip range, to be frank. I don't like it. This area here. Nothing for me.
Totally agree.
Yeah. Spoke a little about backtesting. Can you tell me more about your strategy about backtesting? I do exactly the same things as what I do on the live charts. So I learn to spot patterns. So how I spotted the trend pattern, whereby if the 1 hour and the 4 hours closing in the same manner, that will indicate a stronger trend, and I can take 15 minutes support resistances. I noticed that on through backtesting as well. I do exactly the same thing, if that's what you're asking. Just that I practice over a longer time frame. Isn't it hard to backtest in MT4? Yes, it's harder to draw up your charts, but we don't really have a choice because Forex only works on the MT4 platform. Yeah, but Chris, I don't really like it yet because this areas. So I think just now on the 30, yeah. So I was mentioning earlier, right? So if we look at the 30, it's like a more zoomed in version of the structure. This was the first resistance that formed, right? Then when we see this second resistance pushing up, it actually closed lower than this. So it's telling me that there's some problem over here. That's why I would prefer to take it once it is only above this 30-minute resistance, if that makes sense. unless a 15-minute, unless price comes down, we test, makes new support, and then off this 4-hour zone to go back up, then yes, I'll be interested. But right now it's just pushing without without giving any pauses, so I don't really like it yet. Yeah, Evan's right, close above 138,300. It's possible for entries already. Just needs to break this problematic area. So I like that it's pushing down. We'll see. Maybe form 15-minute support to go up. Oh, Raja's on, guys. So I'll see you guys on his stream, and then I'll start the next one after him.